Welcome to Chad Evans Entertainment. My name is Chad Evans. And in this video, we're going to talk about the 2-5-1 progression, the most talked about progression in all of jazz, it seems. I had some students that went to a camp and they talked about the 2-5-1 and they came back still confused. So what I'm going to do is try to simplify this whole thing with the 2-5-1. Now, for those of you who already know what 2-5-1 is, and you're experts on it, this video is not for you. This is for those of us who are still trying to figure out how to play something on the 2-5-1. Well, it's very simple. First off, let's say we have a scale, F scale, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, right? F is 1, G is 2, A is 3, B flat is 4, C is 5, D is 6, and E is 7. So the 2-5-1 is really talking about the second degree of that key that you're working in and the fifth degree of the key. Now, I would encourage a lot of you in jazz, if you had some issues in jazz camps or in jazz band, really you should spend a lot of time on knowing your major scales. Really your major scales, you should know them, no problem. And you also need to know how to, the values of chords. You need to identify, or if asked to spell a G half diminished chord, you should be able to do that. That has to be something you can do. All right, so if you're not able to do that, then this video might be a little strange for you. But you want to be able to do that. That will help you with your improvisation. That's what happens to a lot of players. They don't know the value of chords and the function of those chords. You have to know the value of them. If I say 2, that's a minor chord. If I say 5, that's dominant 7th chord. Now, it's related to what key we're in. So, let's get to it. So, in essence, say we have a 2-5-1. One measure of 2, we're in the key of F. One measure of 2, that would be G minor. And then one measure of 5, which is C7. And we'll go 2 measures, always like 2 measures of the one chord, which is F. Now, I'm in alto F, so that's A flat concert. All right. So let's say I'm going to take just a basic major scale. So I play the F major scale, 1 octave and a step, F to G. Then I came back down to F. You would believe, if I told you that was a 2-5-1, you wouldn't believe that, right? Well, let's see what it sounds like. Here we go. Starting on F. See that? That's a 2-5-1. I'm just going to use major scales. We're not doing any 6 diminished scales, flat 9, just your regular pure major scales. We're going to improvise. What I did was I went from G, boo boo doo 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 dee, all 8th notes, da 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 da, and came right back down. That's a 2-5-1. Now let's say if I started on the 3rd degree of F. Let's see. Let's see what that sounds like. Here we go. So now there are 2 ways that now I can play a 2-5-1, and I can do those 2 ways of playing 2-5-1 in any key because I understand exactly what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing. Now, a lot of instructors want you to transcribe and analyze the transcriptions, which is good, but this way really gives you complete control of what you're doing. You see, I'm just playing a scale up and down. Let's see if we reverse it. Let me see. Let's see what that sounds like. It should get us right back to F. Here we go. Yeah. 2-5-1. So I know that if I start on the 1st degree, the 3rd degree, if I start on the 5th degree, let me see. Oh, it works too. Let's try that one. All right, here we go. starting on the 5th, C of F. All right, so actually what I'm doing, I'm playing the major scale from the root, and I'm playing an octave and a step above the note that I started on. And I came back down to the note and ended on the note that I started. I started on the 3rd degree. I went up an octave of the 3rd, a 3rd degree, and went up an octave and a step. So that was A to the B flat. Then came right back down to A. And if you notice, the main thing with 2-5-1 is you want to learn how to land on 1, 3, 5, or 7 of that 1 card. That's the important thing. You can play anything you want pretty much up to that point, but when you land, you got to land home. You got to land on some sturdy ground. You got to let everybody know I did that purposely because I am landing on 1 the right way. So that's really the main thing. You want to know how to land on 1, 3, 5, 7. Now that's just to start off. I'm just giving you guys some examples. When you're practicing, you want to know how to land on 1, 3, 5, 7, sometimes 6. But 1, 3, 5, 7. Now, so we know that if we start on the root. Now, let's say we start on the 2nd degree of the F, and which is G, and we went. See, that's not gonna sound right, right? So I ended up landing on G. That's not gonna sound right. I don't want to land on G. I want to land on 1, 3, 5, 7. Let's try it. We can call that the 9th or the 2nd, but I don't want you to do that. We can make that work. But right now, you have to discipline yourself to figure out how I can land on 1, 3, 5, 7. So you take the scale. Now, how can we make that work if we started on G? Let me see. So if I just do an octave to G, da 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 da, and then came all the way down, and I will land on the 7th degree of F, right, which is E. Let's see what that sounds like. I'm practicing. Yeah, see? So here's what I'm going to get impressed upon you. When you're working on the 2-5-1, just work on don't worry about hip stuff. Just do your major scale and try to figure out what degree can you start on. Now, we can use triplets, dotted 8th notes, all kind of rhythm, but we just want to use straight 8th notes. Da 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 dee da dee da dee da da. Yeah, just keep the 8th notes going all the way through. Don't do any quarter notes. Don't try to change up the rhythm. How long is keep those 8th notes going all the way through the measure. Da da dee da da. And then when you land, when you're done, and if you're not landing on 1, 3, 5, 7, then change up what you're doing. So, now let me see if I started on the 4th degree, which is B flat. I'm gonna have to do the same thing, I think. Now, if I do that, now see, we got to work with this one. If I start on the 4th degree, which is F, which is B flat, and I go up an octave, I'm landing on G. I don't want to do that. Well, how can I land on A? Still can't get there. What can I do? Let me see. I have to shorten the line. Instead of going all the way from B flat to B flat, or even B flat to C, I went B flat to A to make this thing work. Let's see how that goes. Let's see how that goes. Here we go. That's a 2-5-1. That's a 2-5-1. So, and this is what I do. And this is what I started off doing. You start on a degree of the scale. Keep it 8th notes because you want to learn how to land. Now, of course, if I did this, if I went, see, I can use rhythm to get me there too. but I want to make sure I'm using all straight eighth notes. You can use rhythm to get you to the point because you're getting there too fast. So you want to add a half note in there, and that'll slow you down, and then you land on 1, 3, 5, 7. Or you can land on 9 or 6, but just keep it 1, 3, 5, 7. So I don't want to make this video too long. So the main thing is use your major scale. Oh, this is important. And also play the chord yourself on your horn. Play 2 on your horn. Play 2 on my horn, then 5 on my horn, and then 1 on the horn. So that way, since you're not a piano player, some of us aren't piano players, I encourage you horn players to take some piano, but you want to play those chords like that so that your ear can get familiar with that sound. Because a lot of times you can hear. If you do that enough times, when you get ready to improvise, you can actually hear before you play it. You know what it sounds like, so I'm going to play what I'm hearing. And that's when true improvisation starts to kick in. But in the beginning, you have to actually build up your vocabulary. So we learned how to play 2, 5, 1, maybe 2 ways, 3 ways, and then you can take that in all keys. That's some good work. And then next week we can try another one. 3 more ways. You get about maybe 10, 11 ways to play a 2, 5, 1. You understand? And you do that in all keys. That's good work. You put in some work. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you. Stick with me because I have some other videos coming out as far as chord value, like the 5, 7 and the half diminished, and how you can work that out. It's very simple. Improvisation should be really easy to understand. The hard part about improvisation is actually put it in play when you're playing. So you have to really put in that work. You have to put in that work like we're doing. You want to do that in all keys. Your ear's going to get familiar with that sound. And then eventually you start using rhythmic ideas to get what you want. Okay, that's it for today.